welcome back to the Key Vape channel. Now, I know we promised you that we would be doing videos far regularly than what we have been. Now, as you can possibly tell, with my hair being a bit longer, I'm a little bit wider, and we've got different boards behind us. We've been very, very busy opening a new shop and doing the Vape Expo over in Birmingham. Now, as I'm sure you can appreciate, that took a lot of our time getting everything ready just to make sure the shop's good and the show's good for you guys. Okay, now with all the apologies out of the way, let's look at one of the most anticipated devices of 2018, which is the Voopoo Drag Mini. Now, great device, really big fan of it. I was a huge fan of the original Drag. Couldn't wait to get my hands on this one, and I've not been disappointed. A few niggly things, I'm not gonna lie, but that's to be expected. You know, no device is perfect. But on that note, let's go up close, have a ganders, and see what we think.
Alright then guys, so it's time to have a look at the Voopoo Drag Mini 2, or Voopoo Drag 2 Mini I suppose. As you can see, nothing particularly special about the box. You've got your QR code on the back, scratch and sniff, and obviously the colour variant. On the back, obviously you have your contents, which shock horror includes the device, your tank, USB cable, a couple of coils, use manual, everything you'd expect basically. One thing I'd like to point out is that on the box there's no Mini or anything like that, it just says Drag, which is a little bit bizarre to be honest with you. I would have expected them to say that it's the Mini, however it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit of a pain in the backside for when you are stocking your shelves and such. It's easily confusing. However, that's not your problem, that's my problem. So we're getting to the box, open it up, and shock horror, oh no, there's no device. Well, funnily enough, I've been using mine, so hence why there's no device in here. USB cable, it's a bit short to be honest with you. I would have expected a bit longer, but I suppose it's alright, but yeah, like I say, would have expected a bit longer. Voopoo card in bits and bobs inside. I'll show you these I suppose. A little Genie chip ad I suppose you'd call it. Really big fan of Genie chip, but we'll get into that momentarily. Warranty card, nothing special. Little instruction manual. The instruction manual is not bad. I mean, again, the Drag is a fairly straightforward device to use, so yeah, I suppose it wouldn't really need to have too many things to go in about, really. Okay, now we'll talk about all the goodies that are on that momentarily, and obviously a use manual for the U-Force tank, or the U-Force T2 tank to be precise. Okay, so as you'd expect. Nothing too exciting, but you know, I've got to show you these things, haven't I? Underneath, so you do get a spare coil. I have used mine. See, this is the round wire variant. Well, I've currently got the mesh variant in at the moment. Also, it does come with a spare glass. 2 mil mind, but it is what it is. We do what we're told, I suppose. Okay. So, shall we get onto the actual mod itself? Excellent. And here we are guys, this is the Voopoo Drag 2 Mini. It's a beautiful device, I've got to say. So far I've had it, well, over a week now. I've not noticed any paint chip or anything along those lines. Now I know the original Drag did have a few issues when it came to the paint wearing off and such. Now obviously time will tell whether this will happen with these devices. However, so far so good. There's no nicks or anything like that, and I'm quite rough with my devices, I've got to say. So nothing's really shown itself so far, which is a good thing. Which is very much a good thing. I will point out while we're going around the mod, there is a slight gap just there. Now it's barely noticeable. You won't notice it in normal use. It's just I'm going to point it out because it is there. Now the reason for that is that it's actually a raised 510 connection. Okay. Now I understand why they've done it. Obviously it keeps the paintwork from being scratched and things like that. But it is worth noting that it is there, that you do get a slightly raised tank on top. Okay, as you'd expect, 3 buttons, up, down, side, up, down, and your power button, and a USB mini for charging. Now it would be good to see a USB-C, Now I know they're starting to come online a bit more in general on devices, but currently, obviously this one does not have it, unfortunately. Bit of venting at the bottom on both sides there, as you can see. Powered by the gene chip. Drag on one side. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this at all. Would it be nice to have seen this completely black? Yeah, I think it would have been. But I think it's a design aesthetic that obviously the original Voopoo Drag had, and so clearly they wanted to continue it. However, it would have been nice to see a variant of that without it as well. Now, on the front side, you've got a... Is it resin? I think it is. It's a resin finish, I believe. Feels very tactile in the hand. It's got almost like a slight rubbery, grippy sensation. Very, very nice in the hand. Now, there's many different variants of this paneling that you can get. It's not interchangeable, at least not that I've been able to find, pull it off or anything like that. But yeah, it seems like it's just whatever you get, you get. Obviously the drip set does match depending on which variant you do get. Voop on the edge there. Again, it's not in your face. It just blends in slightly, which is alright. I like that. I personally like this one the most in the different colour variants, hence why I bought this one. Nice little slight gripping there, I suppose you'd call it. Yeah, aesthetically, I think it's quite pleasing. It's got a slight curve to it as well, and it's going to be very, very hard to show on camera, but there is a slight curve to the body. Now, anyone that's held the original Drag will tell you that it is very, very boxy, which is, it's not a bad thing, but for some people they do prefer a little bit of shaping in the hand, as it can be potentially a bit uncomfortable with the sharp edges and such on the original Drag. However, on this variant, they have added a bit of curving on it, which means it's a little bit more comfortable in the hand. It does still have these sharpish edges on the ends and on the bottom there, but personally for me, I tend to hold my devices like that anyway, so it's not a big issue. So yeah, it is slightly bulked out on each side, but yeah. Apologies for that transition there, guys. I just had to go and get the full fat version of the Drag 2, because as you know, I've been mentioning the Drag Mini, which is the variant we're talking about today. However, I wanted to go and get the new version of the full version of the Drag 2 in, just to show you the size difference. And the reason I want to show you is that because, well, there's not much in it, if I'm honest. I'm surprised they went with the Drag Mini name, because, well, you tell me. There's not much there, is there? Really, not enough for me to say that it's a mini variant of this. Now, the main differences between these two devices is that this has a internal 4400 mAh battery, and this one takes external 18650s. Now, this goes up to 117 watts, and this goes up to 177, I believe it is. So up from 157. So an increase of 20 watts on the full fat version. Like I say, I just wanted to show you the slight difference of the two devices, not much. But going back to the one we're looking at, the Drag Mini. So it's already turned on. As you can see, the screen is nice and bright, dead easy to see, not a problem at all. Now you do have your down button, your up button, your fire button, and your USB charging. Nothing else to it at all. Okay, now, as you can see, you do have two batteries indicated on there, or two cells. So I'm assuming that there is potentially two 18650s in wide in series soldered in there and not a LiPo, unless they've just gone for a strange design aesthetic and gone with two batteries for some random reason. I don't know why they would, if that's the case. Okay, now you do have your, let's bring it up a little bit closer there. Brilliant. You can see that you do have your resistance, applied voltage, and your last puff counter. You can see that wave going across the screen there. That isn't actually on there. That's just the refresh rate of the camera picking it up there. So that's not actually there. Okay. Now, to get into the menus, it's 3 clicks as before. 1, 2, 3, and it gives you the different temperature controls. So stainless steel, nickel, and titanium. 3 clicks again. Brings you up to fit. Now, if I'm honest, I do not know what fit is. I really don't. I've had a look on the internet, couldn't find anything. I've had a look through the manual, could not find anything. So I wish I could give you more information. I really do. My big thing with manufacturers at the moment is that they put these features in on a device and then not tell you what they're actually for. You know, Voopoo are not the only ones that do this, and it frustrates me. It really does. If it's something that they've done, well, tell us what it is, you know? So, apologies, guys, for not actually knowing what this is about. But yeah, apologies. Going on, 3 clicks again, and back into power mode. I've got to say, I've been rocking it in power mode because that's how I roll. I think the majority of people stick with power mode nowadays, just because, well, you don't really need anything else, really, if I'm honest. This goes all the way up to 117 watts, as you can tell there. I wouldn't vape it up that high. Being an internal battery, you know, it's you're gonna go flat and you're gonna have to charge it. It's not like when you have external 18650s where you can just swap them out and put some fresh ones in. So you are gonna go flat pretty quick if you're rocking it up that high. Okay, now I've had it down at 80 watts and been having a whale of a time. Okay, it will take around about the 3-hour mark to charge on a 2 amp charge. Okay, so it does have fast charging, which is fantastic. Okay, now the Genie chip, as you may or may not know, is, in my opinion, one of the best chips on the market at the moment. The reason being is that it's incredibly fast to fire. I mean, if just by pressing the button, straight away, it fires straight away. Okay, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Okay, there's not much to this device. To lock it, press and hold the fire button and the up button, so it locks the screen. Obviously, nothing happens. It would be really nice if you could still fire it while being locked on the power, but alas, it's not the end of the world. So I'm just going to unlock that, and I'm going to quickly turn it off. Okay. So the tank, the U-Force tank, and you got a bit of juice there, as you can see, and I'll explain how that ended up there momentarily. Bottom airflow, really good airflow actually. And it's quite a flavourful tank. It really is. I've been using recently the Freemax Mesh Pro tank, which a review will be coming up on that. Flavour on that is amazing. And I've got to say the flavour, in my opinion, isn't quite as good on this as it is on that particular tank. But it's very nice. It's not awful, far from it. But I've had better. The vape experience on it, really pleasant, smooth. It's quite a loud tank. I'll see if I can get the mic to pick it up, which I'm sure it will, because like I say, it is loud. I don't know whether you heard that there, but it can be a bit of a wind tunnel. It is a 2mm glass. Bring up a little bit closer there. Yeah, it is a 2mm glass, which is unfortunate. It is frustrating, but again, the TPD states 2mm, so it is 2mm. Now, apparently there is extender glasses. We have them in our shots, but for some reason or another, it isn't actually fitting. So, it is what it is. I'll see if we can get that resolved. You can see it does say U-Force on the edge there, so that's the tank. It's not overly aggressive labelling. It's quite subtle, really. The drip tip, very pleasant, very nice size drip tip, and it does match the device, whichever one you got. As you can see, it is just an 810 size drip tip, so if you've got any others that you want to fit in, it will fit. Okay. Now, this is also a slide top fill. You can see there. Normally, I'm a big fan of slide top fills, and I'm not adverse to this one. The big thing that I've had with this particular tank is that from time to time, I've had issues with filling it up, and you'll squeeze your liquid in, but then it will get airlocked and it will just leak out the top. You know, it won't actually go into the tank. Now, I've tried numerous ways of trying to fill it up and try and get past it, but I'm still having the odd issue. It's not all the time, but it's every now and again. Now, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. But I have to make you aware of it, just so, well, you know, and I've told you about it. Okay? Like I say, it is a bit of frustration, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay? Now, as you can see, I'm pushing it all over, and it's not opening. unless I push it on one direction, which is where that arrow sits there, just like that. Okay. Now I do have the mesh coil in here currently, and it's in my opinion, it's very nice. Yeah, flavourful. Okay. Give you a quick look around. So on that note, guys, I think we've had a nice close-up of the device itself. I think we've covered everything that we need to. Let's go back up and close it off from there.
Alright then guys, so that was the up close of the Voopoo Drag 2 Mini. As I said, up close, really enjoyed the mod itself. The tank's okay, it's a decent tank. A few niggly issues, not gonna lie, but yeah, as a tank it's not bad, far from it. I've had far worse tanks. There's no device on the market that doesn't have any issues. If there was, there wouldn't be any other mods on the market, but yeah, if someone got me this for Christmas or whatever, I would not be disappointed. This shall be used in heavy rotation in my collection. This has proven a very popular device amongst our customers, and rightly so. The Voopoo Drag name has lived on with their new range of devices, and it's done it justice. It really has. Now, if there is any questions that I did miss, or any information should I say, let us know in the comments. We're more than happy to answer them. Like I say, we are a bit rusty at doing this, so apologies for the rough nature of the video. It's been a while. However, rest assured, and I know I say this virtually every time I do a video, but rest assured, I will try and make it far more regular. I've already got some plans to do some other devices over the next couple of days, so I expect to see them over the next few weeks or so. However, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you didn't, let us know why. If you did, give us a thumbs up, have a subscribe. It does go down well, and it is really appreciated. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.